I shouldn't have been on my phone, my work phone. Um, I'm thanking God for today. I just wanted to come on again, talk about vulnerability. Yes, I like to walk, get my exercise on, and I can think better and hear God better when I'm by myself. When it comes to vulnerability, and I'm gonna go both sides this time because it was for the men, but I want to talk about men and women. For the men, it's not easy, and as a woman, I get it. I'm not a man, but I see and I talk to other men that you guys don't even have a space to be vulnerable. And I'm just going to be honest. Some women don't even allow you to be because of their not being healed. And sometimes it's not even a choice you have because if you try to be, they throw it back in your face. I mean, let's just be honest. And I'm sorry about all the noise because when you try to be vulnerable, especially from those who come from a trauma background, those who come from hurt, those who allow a woman to get close to them, it's not easy like it is for us women. But there's no excuse, because like I tell my women, men are not robots. They have feelings just like we do. And they got to realize they don't have a big community where they can talk to someone about their feelings. Some of them don't even like to go to counseling. And then when you're taught to man up and not cry and show emotions, that makes it even harder. So we got to give you grace. We got to understand that when God places when God places in your life, there is a reason why. There's some things that we need to help you in the place of knowing, okay, it's okay. Well, I'm gonna allow you that space to be vulnerable. I'm gonna allow you to be you. I'm not gonna throw it back in your face with whatever we discuss or talk about. Excuse me. Whatever we discuss or talk about is going to be between you, not my girlfriends, not my mama, not my cousin, not my friends. It's between me, you, and God. So as women, we got to allow these men to be able to speak on their hurt, their pain. The enemy hits them the hardest because they're the head of the home. You think he's not going to attack the men even more? Because he knows once God put us in a place of us having communication and talking as men and women of God, he knows that our ministry, just as well as God, is going to break down a lot of strongholds. I don't think anybody realized that the devil tries to keep men and women apart. He keeps us apart by bringing us discord, like you don't make enough money, you don't look a certain type, or I need a man that's 6 foot, or I'm so independent I don't need a man. These words that we're putting out there, our words have life. And you think the enemy don't hear that? So when you talk down to a man, do you not know that the enemy gets in that man's mind and help and make him think you ain't about nothing anyways? Nobody wants you. These women out here ain't no good. They ain't about nothing. So keep dogging them, keep doing them. Do you not know as women we have a part to play in that? Let's just be honest. And I know us women, yes, I'm going to get to us about the men. But right now, we got to realize men go through just as much as we do, even more, because they're the head of the house. That's why the Bible said, he that findeth. Because when he finds that wife, he's going to find that woman of God that God has placed in his life that's going to keep him covered, that knows when God is, speaking to him. Hello. I'm sorry, I can't see. It's getting a little dark out here. He knows that when he sends that wife, that she's got him covered, that she had her own relationship with God prior to meeting with him, to know how to hear God for herself, how to know when God is speaking. If her husband didn't hear, she hears it, keeping her spouse and her home covered. We got to understand the enemy is like a flood. He is going to come hard. When I say hard, harder when we're married, because he knows when one said 1,000, two said 10. When God put you together as anointed, as husband and wife, you think the enemy is not going to come even harder? He's going to throw everything he can at you. That's why he doesn't want men and women to get together. He wants us to keep fighting once amongst each other. He wants us to stay separated. He doesn't ever want us to get along because he knows that our ministry will be so strong that it's going to tear down a lot of things that he doesn't want. So as men and women, hey sis, so as men and women of God, we got to understand that we have to stay in God's face and ask questions. We got to stay in God's face and understand that when he's telling us that this spouse or this person is not for us, we got to move on, because there's a reason why. There's a reason why he's keeping us in the space of singleness right now. It could be a couple of things, but if we don't talk to God, you will never get your answer. So you can't get mad at God, you get mad at yourself. He tell you all the time, come to me, all ye heavy laden, and I will give you rest. He will answer any questions you want. But we can't let the enemy continue to beat up on our men. We can't allow the enemy to get them in a mental health and mental mindset that nobody wants them, that nobody cares for them, that nobody's hearing them. It's a problem, and it's getting worse. That's why, as us women of God, we got to stay prayed up for these men. Even if you're not married, ask God to keep them covered, because he wants to destroy them. He doesn't want the man of the house to keep in God's face and hear a word from God, because he knows once God get them together, that's it. They know how to pray. They know how to keep their home covered together. So we got to do better. Mental health is so real. But as for us women, and I'm going to get to in a minute, we definitely have to keep them covered. So if you're asking God for your spouse and preparing to walk as a wife, ask God, Lord, I know you're preparing for my spouse, but whoever it is, God, I ask that you cover their mind. Keep a watch over them until we get together and meet, because I don't know what the enemy is trying to do to them while we're separated. I want them to stay so focused on you, God, and hear you in this season, that when they know that I'm ready to meet with them, that is coming from God and not their flesh, not their family, not their friends. Because we got to know how to pray. We got to understand that when we talk to God, our prayer, we're talking to the Father. Because if you're just talking just to talk, what's the need of talking to your Father if you're not sincere about it? So we got to be sincere when it comes to our men. We got to be sincere that we keep them covered until they come. We got to keep them in prayer, because the enemy is hard at working down trying to destroy them. We see this all day when we hear these videos and see these stories about men unaliving. I'm so used to saying that, other women and themselves because of mental illness. Mental illness is real. So we got to be careful. We got to keep them covered, especially if you're asking God to send your spouse. Because why? He's going to look at you like, okay, she really is ready for her husband. She's asking me questions about him. She's keeping him covered in prayer until he comes. She's staying in her word. She wants to know, what is he like, what he doesn't like. God will tell you anything you want to know. Will you ask him? That's the question. Will you ask God? Because he knows every one of us. He knows our past. He knows our future. He knows what we like, what we don't like, and how we're going to pair off in the future. That's why if he tells you no, he sees the future. He knows that woman or man of God is keeping you away from them, and it's going to end up being destructive to your life. Sometimes it might end up unaliving you. So we got to be careful. We got to ask God. As for my women, when it comes to being vulnerable, I get a lot of us who come from a lot of trauma, baby daddy drama, family drama, hurt, abuse. It's not easy. But when we're asking God for a spouse, we got to make sure that we're talking to God for real and sincere, and asking him, are we even ready? Is there some things that's in my mindset, or some things I need to work on that's not allowing me to be as that wife? Because we can say we're ready, but in reality, our mindset isn't, emotionally and mentally as well. Because there's some things he might say to you that trigger you. There might be some unforgiveness that you put in your conscience that you don't want to talk about. So we can't go to God and tell him I'm ready. Well, Lord, I've been waiting 8 years. I've been waiting 7 years. I've been waiting 5. I've been waiting 6. I've been waiting 2. Time doesn't matter to God. To him, 8 years could be 8 months. 7 years could be 7 weeks. Our timing is never God's timing. So if you keep begging him and keep questioning him, oh, he might give you what you asked for. And I promise you, you're going to want to give it back. Let me say that again. You keep begging God and asking him and telling him, why does it take so long? Oh, he'll give you what you want. And I guarantee you, he will give it back. You're going to want to give it back. I'm sorry. So we got to be patient. We got to talk to the Father the same way I'm talking to the men. You got to ask God who is for you and give God, believe in God and what he's going to do in your life and in your future. So as men, as women of God, we got to keep ourselves covered. We got to stay in his word as more, because when we get that spouse, we're supposed to be their helpmate. So that's me helping them in the season that God put them in. If that means sitting back and fasting and praying on the job for the jobs or their family or home, because we're there to help them, not discourage them, not beat them down, and be submissive. Oh Lord, no, let me not talk about submissive. Woo! A lot of us don't want to talk about submissive. That word shouldn't trigger you if you're a true woman of God. No, I did not say it. Let me repeat that, because I come from a domestic violence marriage of 14 years. I'm not telling no one to stay in nobody's marriage or be with someone that's abusing you mentally, emotionally, and physically. No, because I was there. I'm telling you, when God sends you your spouse and he knows you're ready, you be submissive to that man, because it's in his word. God put everything that we need, every question, every situation in the Bible. Is like a playbook. Anything you want to know is in his word. He is not going to put none in that word he has not um, done or put stories with the word. In so many words, a parable. So we got to be careful. We got to stay in God's face. We got to understand what our spouse needs and what they don't need, what their desires and what the enemy is trying to attack. And of course, yeah, we got to take care of home. But when you're asking God for this, just know it's coming with a load. You got to really be mentally, emotionally, spiritually ready for this marriage that you're asking God for. You can't just ask God for a marriage and just think, okay, all honky dory, things are good, husband pay the bills. No, it's going to be a lot of turmoil. That devil is going to try you. He's going to try your husband, he's going to try you, going to try your kids. I keep my house anointed. I put oil on all the doors. I put it on my kids' cars. I don't play, because why? I'm preparing myself for my spouse. I can't walk around and ask God to send me someone when I'm not even walking in it already and doing the things that I should be doing when he sends them. So you got to ask yourself, are you really ready for marriage? Are you really ready for God to send who is for you? Because it does come with work. It comes with exposure. It comes with letting go some things. It comes with being vulnerable. Are you going to let that man hug on you when you're not used to being hugged? Are you going to let that man do things for you when you're not used to doing it? As single mothers, we've been so independent, taking out the trash, getting someone to do it, taking it the car to get fixed and telling you I love you, things like that. It might not seem a lot, but for some of us who come from trauma, it can be hard because we're so used to doing it, or we're not used to people doing it for us. So my question is, are you ready to be vulnerable? Are you ready to open up for your spouse that God is sending? Are you allowing them to be that spouse? Are you going to be submissive? And one last thing, because I used to do it all the time. We got to stop saying, I'm so independent, I don't need a man. Do you not know your words have life? Do you not know your words have life when you tell God and put it in the atmosphere, I'm independent, I don't need a man? So you're telling God you don't need his son. And you wonder why you're still single. Your words have life. Because he sure got on me about that. I had to stop saying I was so independent I didn't need nobody. And he said, well, okay, well then you don't need my son. And I had to repent and say, Lord, I'm sorry. Because I can't ask for something and then I'm putting it out atmosphere and I don't want it. So we got to be very careful. We got to continue to ask God what to say, how to say, what to pray, when to pray, who to pray for. They might have children. Are you asking God to keep covered over their children? And if not, God, what is it that I need to pray for in this season? Who do I need to pray for? So vulnerability comes with a lot of stipulations. But the point is, are you ready to open up for that? Are you ready to be vulnerable? Are you ready to allow God to open up your heart for someone to love you unconditionally? To tell you I love you? Because for some like myself, it was hard to even say it or even have it heard to me because I never had that coming from abusive childhood. Are you allowing that man to want to take you out, take the trash out, allowing him to be that man? Are you ready for that? So continue to ask God and stay in his face because vulnerability, the enemy can play on that for men and women. But trust God in this season. Ask God about your vulnerability, who to be vulnerable with and who not to be. Know your boundaries. Definitely know your boundaries. Because sometimes it's not your season to open up in spaces that God didn't tell you to, that might trigger you and might send you backwards. So I can't stress it enough. Stay in God's face. Ask God what you need to do about your season of transparency when it comes to waiting for your spouse. I'm sorry, I'm outside. Ask God, is this man or woman should be in your ear gate? Ask God if this man or woman should be even talking to you on the phone. Because you know the enemy comes like a flood. He can get in that ear gate, get you all booed up, get you feeling some type of way. And next thing you know, you're hurting again. You're going backwards, not forward. Did even God tell you about dating? Should you even be dating? So we got to be careful. So we got to ask God. Good morning. Trust God in this season. Oh, I hope. Trust God in this season when you're ready for marriage. Because he knows you better than anyone. Ask God, ask him. Because if you ask God, he will tell you. Don't let the enemy get you so distracted about of the things of the world or relationships that you don't talk to your father. He got all the answers. But are you ready for the answers? Do you want the answers? Do you want to talk to God? Are you willing to hear from God? Because sometimes you might not like the answer he gives you. Trust me, I know. But being vulnerable, it's okay. Being vulnerable is okay. Don't let the enemy think you're not going to be able to be vulnerable again. I was one. I thought I wasn't going to be able to trust men again. I thought I wasn't going to be able to talk to men again or let a man touch me or even speak to me. But God did some work on me and he's still working on me. I can't let the enemy stop what God is doing in my life because there's too much work we have to do. You can't let him trick you and feeling that you're not worthy or if somebody else do something to you, it's going to revert back. Sometimes we're going to go through some stuff, but we go through it because God wants us to trust him. It's not a good feeling, no, and I'm not going to lie to you. It's not. Yeah, I still get my feeling hurt sometimes, but because I didn't ask God first, should I even entertain an individual? I never asked. And when I started asking and got exposed, that was less stress off of me. I was stressing my own self, trying to be in a relationship that God never put me in. Because I started feeling some type of way. Everybody else was getting married. Everybody had, boyfriends and dates and stuff. And God said, are you looking at it naturally or spiritually? Because spiritually, I want you to be with who I have for you. Because you don't need all that dating. For what? Because if you're asking me to send my son, you should be courting to marriage. Why? Because he knows the things about you that he already asked me about. She knows the things about you that she already talked to God about. If you want to date, you could date while you're courting and set the marriage date. Because when God send them, you ain't got to question nothing. You ain't got to second guess. It won't feel nasty. It won't feel uncomfortable. I know for me when I was talking to men and afterwards, I even messed with one and it was so disgusting. That's not God. What God does, it feels beautiful. It's natural. You don't feel disgust. You don't feel like you want to get out of your skin. That's never God. That's the enemy. So don't let the enemy get you all riled up, booed up, messed up. If you make a mistake, ask God to forgive you and move on. Don't beat yourself up. Don't let the enemy beat you up. God got you. He'll take care of you. He said, I will never leave you nor forsake you. And he means it. We leave God. He said it in his word once again. I will never leave you nor forsake you. So I just wanted to put that out there. You guys have a blessed and beautiful day. Whatever part of the world you're in, good morning, good afternoon, good night. And I just want you to share this out to everyone because I want to help my brothers and sisters when it comes to marriage, godly marriage. That's why he had me write that journal, all for my kingdom marriage. Are you ready for your kingdom marriage? Are you ready for your godly spouse? And the journal is available on Amazon. It's all for my kingdom marriage. It has a lot of questions in there that God placed in my heart to ask. Deep questions to think about. Preparing, timing, especially when God says no. How do you feel when God says no? So I pray you guys get the journal. I'm going to do a workshop one day on it. I'm just waiting on some things and waiting to hear from God when to do it. I know he's telling me now, but I am definitely going to do that. So you guys have a blessed day. It looks like it's about to rain out here. It's getting dark, as you can see, and I need to walk a little faster. So thank you for coming through. Like, share the video, subscribe to the channel. I have more stuff coming. I might even do a giveaway. So you guys have a blessed and beautiful day. Bye-bye.